these talks, they can be hard. You have all these thoughts in the now, and then you try to write them down or duplicate them or relive them, and it doesn't come out the same. That's why when you know when someone's really speaking with authority, because it's all in the words, and words are very complicated. A lot of mind control involved in the words, the coding, and the language. Just like recording a song or something. When you're coming up with the part on the guitar, or the vocals, that first time you play it, it can really never be duplicated, because that was in the now, and then when you're trying to duplicate it, it's already happened. So this is about the days of the New World Order, and the words that are involved. Just like finger pointing. Finger pointing is not judgment. They're two different things. Judgment, we're encouraged to judge. Most people don't realize this. But if you don't judge, you could be putting yourself in danger by hanging out with, someone that has cruel intentions. You got to judge, but that's different from finger pointing. Finger pointing is a concept that I explain. We all finger point. That's part of the mind control that's being taken place through demonic presences, government, however you want to look at it, but where we identify a character flaw in someone else that we don't like about ourselves. So the energy, whatever you want to call it, that is upon us tells us, look at them, they're disgusting, or I don't like them because look at what they do. When in reality, all you're doing is identifying something you have within yourself that you may not want to deal with. Some people call it snitching, but what most people don't realize is we're all guilty of everything. We all broke the 10 Commandments and will continue to break those. And I see the 10 Commandments like this. I think they were given to us, not just as a simple way to live or rules to hold us down. They were given to us to show us how little control we have over our own emotions. Because, the thoughts come in from outside, but it's still up to us to act on those desires and thoughts. So the mind is the battlefield. Your mind is where everything goes down. And that's where free will is. You have the choice to act on these thoughts. Cartoons used to show the angel and the devil on each shoulder. Because, really, you're going to act on one or the other. And so, like as a kid, as a child, I can remember laying in my bedroom at night, scared to death. I was afraid of the dark. We had a big house. And I could remember, tapping my head on the pillow or making some kind of noise so to try to cast out the fear. And I had a little digital clock. And every night, almost every night, if not every night, for the longest time, something in my mind would make me look at the clock at 9/11. You know, and I can't make this stuff up. But for the longest time, even after 9/11 in New York, I didn't put any of this together. But I was afraid to look at the clock because it scared me that it would be 9/11 every night when I looked at that digital clock. But some force, some thought would come in and I couldn't overpower it. I would look at the clock, 9/11. It would scare me to death. So then later in life, that quit happening, and I was 21 and I started dating a girl, and her last four digits of her phone number were 1102. And all of a sudden that number started popping up out of everywhere. See, this mind control or whatever, there's no such thing as coincidence. So for the longest time I struggled with what these numbers were meaning, 9/11, 1102. And it's a long story, and I could go into it on a later video, but it had meaning, and it was finally revealed to me what those numbers meant. You know, one of the most fascinating things that I've seen lately is when a friend of mine does their talks on their videos, and they will make a really important point. And he has an almond tree above his house with a metal roof on it. Like here in the States, we got walnut trees here in the house that I live, and you could be in the garage and boom, walnut hits and it scares you. Well, my friend, he has the same thing, but it's almonds. And time and time and time again, it will be right after he makes a very important point, bam, the almond will fall on the roof. This isn't coincidence, you know. That's you know, to me it's a reassurance that, you know, he's on the right track. You know, if you think, and going back to words, think about it. In school, we all took a class called spelling. That's odd. Well, I was terrible at it. Spelling, you know. But if you really think about that, spelling, yeah. They taught us the importance of, you know, the way letters are organized, because there's power in the words. They provoke thought. Okay? And that's why music was the most high form of praise in the Old Testament through the Psalms. And that's why the Illuminati infiltrated music, because of the words with the harmony behind them and the sound. So like a meme, you got words with a picture. So you got a visual to go along with the words, and that's why they affect us so much. But music, you have a sound with the words that can also control and heavily influence us in our thoughts and our actions. I used to not think this way, but I do now. And you know, that's how the whole world is deceived, through the belief in false words, the belief in a lie. See, because what happens is you defend the lie and you don't even know why. The topic of cancer, I've been looking into that a lot lately. Um, People that have cancer and that have been involved in the medical industry, anything that's outside the lie that is chemotherapy, Sanofi Aventis, and the cabal and the money that's involved here, it's it's totally corrupt, you know. Now, I'm not a physician, but anytime there's money involved and you have companies producing a medication that they then give doctors money under the table, kind of like a commission, like a car salesman, for prescribing and using, giving these drugs away, there's corruption involved. But these people that are so deceived, the whole world's deceived, but these people want to defend the chemotherapy and call anything outside of that treatment biased and false and misleading. So they're defending the lie that is the cabal of cancer. And you see this in all forms of conspiracy, whether it's flat earth, vaccines, chemtrails, cancer, the monetary money system, the Holocaust, religion, sports even, GMOs, the gay agenda. The deception lies within all of those conspiracies. That's the easiest way to control the masses. And if you're defending any of these, I have respect for you if you're trying to expose the truth about these. But you have to understand you're wasting your time, really. I mean, you really are. Because you're not going to overpower the mind control that is behind all of these conspiracies and the people that believe in the lie of these conspiracies. Now, you might break through someone's veil and get them to become aware of a truth. You know, the truth sets you free. But most will just get caught in one faction of the conspiracy. They never get to the pinnacle of truth, because there is a pinnacle of truth, and I'm not going to give it to you. You have to find it yourself. But don't get stuck in one conspiracy. Like Dane Whittington, so passionate about geoengineering and the exposure of it and stopping it. Every week he puts out an awesome talk. I have a lot of respect for the guy, but he's wasting his time. He really is. He's wasting his time because he's stuck in one faction. He's stuck in one area. And the people he wakes up, they may get stuck in that same faction, and they're never going to get to the pinnacle of truth. So, you know, so going back to the words in the Ten Commandments, nobody keeps them. We all break them. And so those are more than just simple little rules to live by. That was a precursor to the supernatural characteristics of what Jesus was. No human being can keep all the commandments. No human being can keep even one commandment. But it's recorded that he did. How is this possible? How is this possible? Look at creation. Look outdoors. Look at the grass. Cows, cattle graze on this grass. They process it. and then they poop what's left of this grass that they eat, and it fertilizes the grass. How is this possible? Without creation, without this whole world that we know being a very organized machine. The smell of a dead animal, nobody can stand that. It's a horrible smell, but there's animals that can smell that and they come and clean it up. And you see the gay agenda, and I hear all these people want to argue that they're born this way. They're born this way. You're believing a lie. A child is innocent. A child is born innocent. He's not born with sin. Now you can have generational curses attached to that, but you're not born gay. If you're created in the image of Him, and He says be fruitful and multiply, that's impossible if you're born gay. Do you think the creator of all this machine and what's going on would contradict Himself? No, you're not born gay. It's very clear to me that gay homosexuality is a direct result of the denial of creation. The complexity of the sun, the moon, the stars, the rain, the evaporation of the rain back into the clouds. It's so complex. If you deny the Creator, if you deny creation, okay, one of the results of that is you're going to be attacked in your battlefield with homosexuality. Now, I'm not saying all deniers of creation are homosexual and that all homosexuals don't understand creation, but the vast majority of them, you will find that because it's written. And that's going back to Dane Whittington and his geoengineering. He don't understand it's written. This is prophecy. All your exposure, which has some good, there's good in everything. All your exposure to this, you're not going to stop it, Dane. It's not going to stop. This is prophecy. It will continue. And as much knowledge as Dane Whittington has on geoengineering, he's missing the truth. It's too high for him. It's too high for him. Then you have these people that are awake to all these conspiracies, but they want to deny the supernatural of what is the scripture. And they try to reverse engineer it. And they say they writ that the CIA, Mossad, Freemason complex wrote the scriptures so that we will accept Armageddon. Now you're twisting. That's a belief in a lie. You're twisting the order of authority here on earth. Man cannot write prophecy 2,000 years ago and make it come true in today's day and age. Someone tried to say that they wrote this so they could basically wipe us all out through Armageddon, through CERN, through war, through climate engineering, to where they could kill us and we would accept it as God sent. My friend, don't believe that lie. I believe in lies. We all do. That is our nature. Let's see. Like If you think we are electric, okay, we are electric in nature. So then you have cancer, which supposedly can't survive in an alkaline environment. So I'm beginning to see cancer kind of like the corrosion of a battery. Something is coming into contact with this energy that is alien to the source. And so you have battery corrosion, and that's kind of like cancer. You know, your GMO food, all this. So it's about your words. Donald Trump is not the savior. He says a lot of good things, and maybe he will be good for the country. But he's gatekeeping truth, just like the rest. You know, he will talk about how the voting system is a scam, it's rigged. He tells you he will tell you the truth of 9/11. The truth of 9/11 is very few people can accept the fact that there were no planes. Those were holograms. That the building was not brought down with explosives and thermite. That the red metal that they've seen was not hot. Okay, and that the building was turned into dust from a technology that we don't understand. So this is higher than human. Okay, there's a reason for the flat earth, for the vaccines, for the chemtrails, for cancer, for GMOs, for the gay agenda. You know, because it's hiding things. The best way to mind control us is to give us pieces of truth, because the truth sets you free. So then you're passionate about something, and you're going around trying to thinking you're helping everybody by waking them up, and they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. So when you're gifted with the revelation of truth, understand that's a gift. Give thanks to the Most High. And if anybody asks you about it and they're willing to listen with open ears, you know, sit down and talk with them. That's what's great about YouTube, because you're not forcing this upon anybody. If you're watching this video, it's because you're choosing to. And you may disagree with it, but you're still choosing to. No, I'm not pushing this upon you, you know. So, you know, take a look outside. Understand that this isn't by accident. Understand this is divinely created. It's a machine. Understand that your mind is the battlefield. Understand that your thoughts do not control your actions. It's when you act upon these thoughts that sin and curses can take place. Understand that words are one of the most powerful things on earth. So when you put a picture and a meme behind it, or a song musically, those words are going to be powerful. The belief in a lie is the most dangerous thing in existence. We're all being mind controlled and played with puppet strings through all these factions of conspiracy. So get what you need out of each one of these conspiracies, know the truth, and move on. Because there's a pinnacle of truth at the top. And if you get stuck on one of these factions, one of these steps on the way to the top, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Have a great day. God bless. Subscribe, share. Put your comments in the section below. You know, this is all about building a ministry. again. Thank you.